Hey guys, Dr. Brown with Kubo Math coming to you from Tarlac City, Philippines, and tonight it's 5th grade. We're going to work some problems using the block models. I know the request is still out there to help with that. So let's just jump on that and see what happens. I have three problems, so let's get after it. Okay, a ruler and 2 pencils cost 35 pesos. The ruler costs 2 pesos more than the pencil. So what's the cost of a ruler? You can see they're comparing everything to the pencil. So let's let the pencil be 1 unit. Okay, and we have 2 pencils because it said 2 pencils plus a ruler. The cost of a ruler costs 35 pesos. So that's the 1 pencil. Here's the 2nd pencil. And this one is the ruler. Well, the ruler is the same cost of a pencil plus 2 pesos. So it's 1 unit, which is what the pencil cost, plus the 2 pesos. Now all of that together equals 35 pesos. Now this is the cost of a pencil, cost of a pencil, cost of a pencil. So all of this is in pesos, that's in pesos, that's in pesos. That's important. All the units have to be the same, and the units being the pesos. Everything has to be money if you're adding it together. Or all apples or all oranges. We can't add pakwan and saging. We can't add watermelons and bananas together. It has to be either all watermelons, all bananas, or in this case, all pesos, all money. Okay? All right, so having said that, pencil, pencil, ruler. If I were to add these together, I have 3 units, or 1 unit plus 1 unit plus 1 unit gives me 3 units. I'm just going to use U. I'll let U equal unit. Instead of writing the entire word out, I'll just say 3U plus 2 pesos equals 35. Well, 3 units plus 2 minus 2, I'm going to subtract 2 from each side. I'm trying to isolate the U, the units, okay? So if I subtract 2 from this side, I have to subtract 2 from the other side. So these 2's cancel. I have 3 times 3 units equals 33. So if I divide both sides by 3, 3 divided by 3 is 1. 1 times unit gives me a unit, and that equals 11. So 1 unit equals 11. That equals 11. This one equals 11 plus 2. So a ruler equals 13. And if you add 11 plus 11, I had the 2 pencils, plus the cost of the ruler, which was 11 plus 2, or 13. That gives me 35. And that's what I needed. That would be using the blocks, the block models, as they're doing in your school now. Okay, I'll leave that for the moment. Well, maybe not. I may need the room to calculate here in a minute. Okay. Next problem. Gino and Jerry had the same number of erasers. So they have some erasers. Some people laugh at mine because it's so small, but I use them until they're just totally gone. Okay, Gino and Jerry had the same number of erasers. So they started with the exact same thing. And we'll let that be 1 unit. All right, they said, and let's see, this would be, we'll let this be Jerry, and this is Gino. Gino gave away 28 erasers. So he gave away that many erasers, 28. So that was 28. He said that Jerry gave away 82. So Jerry gave away a whole bunch of them, okay? So he gave away 82. So this amount here was 82. So it says afterwards, Gino had 7 times more than Jerry. So it said if you took this amount here, multiplied it by 7, you would get how much Gino had. Well, what did Jerry have? Jerry had 1 unit minus 82. So that's 1. And it's saying if you multiply that times 7, that equals what Gino had left. Well, Gino had 1 unit minus 28. So let's solve for a unit. Now I'll distribute to 7 in here. So 7 times 1 unit gives me 7 units. 7 times 82, I have that written here just for the sake of speed. That's minus 574. And that equals 1 unit minus 28. Well, let me add 5. I'm trying to isolate unit. So my plan will be eventually to get all the numbers here and the units on this side. So for the moment, I'm going to add 574 to both sides. Okay, so these 574s cancel. So I end up with 7 units equals 1 unit plus, what is that, 546. So 574 minus 28 gives me 546. Now I need to get rid of the 1 unit on this side. So I'm going to subtract 1 unit from both sides. So this and this cancel. 7 units minus 1 unit gives me 6 units. And that equals 546. Well, I don't want 6 units, I want 1. So divide both sides by 6. 6 divided by 6 is 1. 1 times unit equals a unit, and that equals 91. Now, the question becomes, how many erasers did they both start with? Well, if U equals 92, or 91, well, that's U equals 91. So they both started with 91 erasers. Of course, he ended up with 91 minus 82, and this person ended up with 1 unit minus 28. So, but they started with 91 each, so which would be a total of 182. But 91 each. All right, that would be an example of how to use the block model to get a solution there. Okay. All right, last one. Paul has 30 more marbles than Bob. Okay, Paul has 30 more marbles than Bob. Well, let's start out just thinking about Bob. So this is Bob. And what, Paul. So this is Paul. Well, Paul had 30 more marbles. So if this is 1 unit, and this is 1 unit, Paul had 30 more than Bob. Okay, Bob gave away 15. So Bob gave away some of his. He gave away this many. So Bob had 1 unit, and this was 15, by the way. So Bob had 1 unit minus 15, and it's saying after he gave those away, Paul had twice as many marbles as Bob. So if this was Bob, twice times this would give me that. And what is that? That's 1 unit plus 30. Let me scoot this over. That's 2 times 1 unit minus 15. Well, let me distribute the 2 to the inside. So 2 times 1 unit gives me 2 units. 2 times a negative 15 gives me a negative 30. And that equals 1 unit plus 30. Okay, I'm trying to isolate u on this side, and so it's u equals something. So let me get rid of the 30. So it's a negative 30. Let me add 30 to both sides. So negative 30 plus 30 cancels. 2u equals 1u plus 30 is 60. Now let me subtract 1u from both sides. 2u minus 1u is 1u, just u. And that cancel on that side, so 1u equals 60. Okay, if 1 unit is 60, what did Paul have? Paul had 60 plus 30, so he had 90. And let's see how they word this. What are the total number of marbles? Now I'm going to make the assumption they're asking for what's the total number of marbles they have left after Bob gave the 15 away. It doesn't plainly state that in the problem. It didn't say how many did they have originally. It just says, what are the total number of marbles? Okay, so we're going to assume they mean after he gave the 15 away. Well, Bob would have 60, which was what unit was, minus 15. So he had 45. So Paul had 1 unit, which was 60, plus 30 was 90. And then Bob had 1 unit minus the 15 he gave away, which was 45, which would come out to be the total number of marbles is 135. I don't know who he gave them to, but they're no longer there. Okay, this would be the block method that I know some of you are having in school, and maybe that'll give you an insight to working those methods. We have many more problems we can work and put out there for you if you need more assistance with that. Okay, that's all for now. Why are we doing this? Because together, let's build a better tomorrow and do that through math. Have a great evening, and we'll talk to you next time. Thanks.